All right, I wanted to go grab my laptop real quick. I appreciate y'all tuning in once again. I don't even know what episode this is, right? Episode 22, 23, Modern Nobility. Me talking about my long-term investments, maybe a 5-year, a 10-year plan. But like I mentioned before in my previous video, I was talking about Apple. If you had to put $100 into Apple, I think when it initially opened, it was about 14 cents. But like over the course of like a couple of months, it dropped down to 8 cents. So if you just invested $100 when it dropped to 8 cents and held it until now, which would have been what, at least 40 years or so, it would have been worth at least over $150,000. So, you know, when people are talking about make your money work for you, that's the whole mindset. Because you're gonna make $100 over, 100 times fold. You know, people who work in, let's say, okay, the problem is, the issue is about money, right? Who has the money to invest? And one thing is like trying to reduce your cost of living. And one way, multiple ways that you can do this so that you can get there faster is if you move in with a roommate. Maybe you get an apartment together, you split the rent. Maybe you buy I don't even know, say, sir, by buying a house, but maybe you find a place that it's a 4-bedroom apartment, and you and your buddies or you and your girls get all together, or family members, and you rent it. You pay it and split the rent between each other. That could be another way. That way you can cut the cost of living down faster. Maybe as a family you buy a house together and you move all in together and split the living costs. You know, that could be another way that you can cut your living expenses, because it's about how you can get there faster. The person who worked 50 years to make $1 million versus the person that made it in 20 years is a lot richer than the person that did it in 50, right? So it's about trying to figure out how you can get your hands on that and actually and use it so that it's working for you faster. So I would just cut down my living expenses if that would be one of my advice. Maybe you can find a way that you can cut your living expense down. Maybe you can cut down any subscriptions, unwanted ones that you don't need to be spending that money on. So you can cut down any subscription that you're paying for that's a monthly one. Now, a lot of people would tell you, like the billionaires out there would tell you to cancel all your Netflix, right? Which is like crazy to say that, because people who invest in Netflix are making a lot of money when it first initially started. But the reason why he might have said that, or some people might have said that for billionaires wise, because I'm not gonna say a name, but I'm just saying in particular, is because it now gives you access to take more action, because you might be taking up a lot of your time in your day watching movies and TV shows. So if you're not being productive, then at that point, yeah, you might want to cut down on some cost where you're spending it at and what you're watching. So for me, I try to watch as much information that could possibly benefit me that I can use and take action on. Now, I do have times where I'm multitasking and I might be working on a website or something like that on the side, or I might be creating a post on Canva for free, and I'll have like a YouTube video playing in the background or some kind of movie that I'm watching to multitask, so I can knock out both of them. But I have a movie list unbelievable, like 5 pages long. I got TV shows that are like probably 5 pages long, because I just don't have the time to dedicate to watch those movies and those TV shows as much as I would like, until I can get to a point where I'm comfortable enough to like chill and down and pull back a little bit on my hustle and me working and grinding to work smarter to be able to have my money work for me. And then until I can do that, and where it's passive money and I don't have to like stress myself all day, then I can't be just sitting back chilling on the sofa watching a movie. So for him, a lot of the billionaires out there, multi-millionaires out there, that can tell you, because they literally started from zero, probably moved into like the cheapest apartment that they could find, and cut their living expenses down. They didn't buy name brand products. Really, people that really did it, if you look at a lot of rich people, and I've met a lot of rich people in the beginning stages, and probably the ones that actually have like old money, they don't care about name brand. Now, don't get me wrong, some of them probably have name brand, but you don't even know it's name brand, because it's like this plain shirt that you're not even paying attention to, unless you probably recognize it in something that's in the media like heavily. There's probably shirts and sweaters and clothing that they wear that are like a lot of money, but we can't see that because it's not like Louis Vuitton or like Gucci or something that you think that brand wise you're spending a lot of money on. So, some of the things that I would recommend and things that I've learned is don't buy a lot of name brand stuff. try to find stuff on sale, and try to, dress your drip up, right, as much as you can by doing it more cost effective for yourself, because spending all your money on your clothes and shoes might not help you get there quicker. If that's what your goal, if your goal is not to get financial freedom in some type of way, or generational wealth for your family, or retire early, then this video ain't for you, right? Maybe I'm not for you. But what I'm saying is, if that's your goal, then yeah, do what you want to do. But if that's not your goal and you're trying to figure out how you can, retire 20 years earlier than what you're expecting to do, then this is the video for you. This is what you need to be listening to. This is the podcast for you, because I'm delivering heat. I said it on my ride home last night that I'm about to crank it up. I'm about to really give y'all what I'm doing out here. And I kept saying that essentially I wish I had that role model when I was younger to teach me the ropes of what to do, to try to push me out of the way so I don't learn the mistakes. But when you learn those mistakes and you do it by yourself, you start to learn not to move that way no more. So sometimes you do got to take that mistake, and sometimes you do got to do that work and work hard before you can work smart, so you can understand that humbleness and that structure that you need. That one thing I said I feel that people would appreciate more other people's jobs if they had to work that job for at least a week. If you work someone's job for at least a week, you would understand what that person goes through. So I used to be a waiter. I did that for a little bit, and I know. I worked in the cooking industry. I know I've done cleaning jobs. I've done landscaping. You name it. So if you work that job for at least a week, I think you would have more appreciation for how to do that job. And if you had to hire someone, if you're building a business, you need to know every position. So that could be another that could be another approach for yourself to put in place, that it now can help you the skills that you need to learn on the way to get there. So, this is me diving in to show you the stuff that I wish I had access to for free, if possible, and allow an entrepreneur or someone on the other side, an investor or stock investor, somebody that can show me a window into their life and let them see what they're doing, so I know how to move for the next 10 years. What's my 5-year, 10-year game plan? Most people just tell you to get life insurance or something like that, or they get you an IRA account and invest in 10% of your money in the stock market and then buy your house, right? But some people will tell you maybe you shouldn't buy your house, because typically that's going to put you in debt for a long term, unless you can try to take it and rent it out and use it as that way, as another source of income. So I'm just trying to give you some game. I'm just trying to tell you. I know a bunch of stuff about credit cards, how to help credit card and stuff like that, how to get your credit up. Like, I know a bunch of that stuff. So it's stuff that I did to boost my score, and how to get it to a level where I can have a lot of credit cards and limits to use it to fund any business idea that I have. So, and I'm watching other entrepreneurs do this. They have like $1 million worth of a credit limit, and they using it to buy houses. I mean, they out there doing big boy stuff, big girl stuff. And I'll be like, I'm on the sidelines like, okay, okay, that's what you're doing? Oh, let me write that down. Oh, you right. All right, I'm following you. So that's the stuff that I be doing. So when they say don't be buying on that name brand, the people, what they're doing, I would say they wearing their own clothes. They get a t-shirt that's, I don't even know how much this is probably like $20 or something like that. I probably went to Kohl's and grabbed it. I got a bunch of these because they were like on sale. Grabbed a bunch of different colors, drip up my gear, whatever I want to do to it. I could dress down, dress up with it. And essentially what I did, I try to find the sales, because that's what they're doing. A lot of people that I follow, that's what they're doing. They're going to find the clearance sales on clothes, and they buy a bunch of it. And sometimes they do have the money to afford at that position, because now they're making a lot of money to buy expensive clothing, like $500 shoes, $1,000 suit, maybe even a $10,000 watch and stuff like that. And we can't be rolling like that if we don't have that little bit of money. So some of the things they say, for them, they'll buy clothing like this and they'll put their name on it and their branding, and they'll promote themselves. Start using any piece of material to promote yourself, and that's some of the stuff that they're doing. So they're promoting themselves by wearing their own clothes instead of buying someone else's name brand stuff and spending all that money when the shirt only costs them $5 to make. And then they're trying to sell it to you for like $50. Like, come on. The shoes, like Nike, Jordan, all them shoes, they probably only cost them $20 to build that shoe. To make that shoe, and they selling it to you for $300. I was like, I ain't about to do that. Not now. I ain't got the money to do that right now. I need to take my money and make it work for me, so then I can go out there and drop $1,000 on on a nice suit or shoes and stuff of that nature. But I can't be doing that. You can't be trying to flaunt yourself looking like you rich and you not, that you balling and you not. You need to take your money and be using it for other stuff. So, hey, if you gotta be like, oh, I ain't got the latest Nike Jordans on and everything, and people clowning you, you clowning someone rich. J. Cole said it. How you clowning me and I'm a millionaire? J. Cole said it in his verse. Like, go listen to it. What you talking about? All right, anyway, let me get back into the point. So name brand stuff, maybe you got to cut down your cost of living, cut down your subscriptions. If you have debt, there's a bunch of different ways that you can do that to manage that, and I'll talk about that in another video. But it's just things like that, and to be able to get you some money so you can invest. And that's what I did. I said I cut down my living expenses. I cut down buying any name brand stuff. If I did, it was just like one thing. I didn't go crazy. I cut down all my subscriptions. I cut down my cost of living, what I need to spend and live. And I got bills that I gotta pay, but I cut it down to the point that I can pay for everything that I need, that's necessary. And then I take all my other money. I save a little bit, maybe like a couple $100 here and there, and I save it. So I just got like food money, things like that. But all my other money, I invested. I'm investing the heck out of it. I'm not saying invest all your money in something, but in one company, but you can take that money and invest it over a bunch of different companies. And I'm gonna go over that real quick. Like I said, this is the information I wish I had, allowing someone to be able to like dive into the world and what they're doing. So I'm gonna talk about Republic real quick. I posted this app, a post about maybe like a couple weeks ago, or maybe like 2 weeks. It could have been like 2 weeks ago. I got to look over I've been making a lot of posts over the last couple of days, so it could have just been last week. But I posted about this app called Republic, and I posted about another app called Sophie. But I'm just talking about Republic for now. There's another app called, I think it's called Diversify Fund, and I'm going to make an investment on there. It allows you to take a minimum of $500 and invest into real estate. Now, okay, a lot of people are like, oh, $500, that's not going to pay you a lot of money. But that $500, I don't know the benefit of what it could do if I don't take the risk and put that $100, $200, $300 there and here. Because, like I said, if you'd have put $100 into Apple and held it for 40 years, it would have been worth $150,000. Like, what? That's like someone's whole year's salary off of $100. If you knew you could just take $1 and place it somewhere and at least make $1,000 over a 10-year, 20-year period, why wouldn't you do it? You could do that all day. You can go find companies all day thinking that it's a good idea and invest in them, and just know that you place $5,000 of your money over 100 companies, and 10 years from now, they might all blow up. So that $100 everywhere might turn into, at least at that point over a 10-year period, might turn into $10,000. And if you did that with 50 companies, you balling. That's fast math. That's that rich math. I'm just saying. So on Republic, I found this company called Genius Juice, and it's real coconut water, and basically the whole meat of the coconut blended into a smoothie, and it's right in a bottle. And they're basically planning to, they already have this in stores and in Amazon and stuff like that, but they're planning to grow more, and they needed to raise a certain amount of money. They raised about $600,000 over with about 1,300 investors. And I was like, look, I'm gonna go place $100, $200 into this company and let it sit for the next 5-10 years and see what they do. And maybe they might be a big name brand someday, and I'm making money off of that. That's another play for me for long-term game. I don't know, it could be a 5-year plan. They already been in business for quite some time. And they've been on Shark Tank. So, some of the stores that they've been into is Whole Foods, Target. They've been in Costco's. They're on Amazon. They're on there's a bunch of other different natural groceries. I never even heard of that company. There's a bunch of different ones, but they've been out for a little bit now. So I went on here. I thought it was a genius idea. I said, I've never seen a smoothie made all of coconut, the whole meat of the coconut in the juice in a bottle on the shelf. And I was like, I thought that was really cool. And I think they went out to Thailand to find the sweetest, like meaty and like nutritious coconut they use, and that's what they did. So you can go find that on Republic. It only costs a minimum of $100 to invest. If you want to get in there, that's what I did. I'm not telling you what to do with your money, but I'm telling you, if I had access to someone that could have been a mentor that I wanted when I was 16, they could have taught me this game. I'm telling you, I'd be dominating right now. But that's okay. 26 now. By 36, I'm gonna be dominating. So if you want to listen, this is something that you could be doing. Go on here, find different companies, but I just wanted access to it. So this is Republic. You can put $100 in there. Maybe 5 years from now, that $100 might be dominating on something. Who knows? So we're gonna find out. I went in. Here's another company. It's called well, this is another platform. It's called Wii Funder. And you can go find this up. You can go on the computer. This company that I was talking about earlier on my other platform that I invested $150 in, and it gave me 50 shares at $3 a piece. I'm gonna pull that up real quick. It is called AUDL, Alpha Umbrella David Larry, right? So that's what the company's called, and it's basically an American team of a league that's trying to go in and get their way into the industry to be a new league of a sport team with frisbees. I just thought that was just like, what? Frisbees? But every day when you think about it, there's all these sports that come out that are people are like paying millions and billions of dollars to be in the stadium and watch them play. And I was watching the video and them playing, and they were like, it was hardcore. I was like, this is the sport right here. I like this. I said, all right, let me invest in it. So they already, that fund did already pass. I couldn't get that one to you quick enough, so sorry about that. But last funding date was May 21, which was like 2 days ago. And I put in like $150. I got 50 shares for $3 a piece. And the company has been around for at least, I think, maybe at least 8 years now. They could have been around longer than that. I'm just telling you what I know off the top of my head real quick, because I can't run through the whole portfolio. But they've been open since 2013, so keep an eye out for them. It's called AUDL, and it's the I'll tell you what it stands for real quick. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to tell you what it stands for. Let me see right here. Let's see. It is... Nope. Let me hit the back button real quick. I'll tell you what it stands for. It stands for American Ultimate Disc League. So it was $150 for that investment. This other company is not yet... they need to do a couple different legal fees first. And that's just still on Wii Funder. They got to still do some legal situations with their... requirements before they can get the money from the investment. So it was another $100 investment in this company. It's called let me see, hold on. It's called NYCE, and it's basically, their pitch was they're the Robin Hood of real estate. It's going to allow you to download an app just like Diversified Fund, but at a cheaper amount. Instead of $500, it's $100, and allow you to get into real estate as a community. They'll fund and raise money as a community to allow all people to invest. There's another company I found like that that's allowing you to own hotels. So like, I thought that was like commercial real estate. Like, you got to be doing some serious numbers to get in commercial real estate. So to be able to, they're trying to build a platform to allow you to do that. I thought that was genius. So basically, they're allowing you to get into real estate for at least $100. And the investment on here, you can invest $100 to get future equity in a company. But their terms are, it's a convertible note. And basically what that means is, I'm going to tell you the definition. The convertible note is a debt that converts to equity over time. So if you're investing, you're betting that the company will be worth more than 50 million. So that's what their valuation, they're saying their company's going to be worth. And I'm betting on the future success that it's going to be worth more than 50 million. And then that debt that the $100 I'm giving them, or whatever you put in, will convert to equity. So that's another company right there I just invested in. I did that one last night. I'm going to go over to, let's see, this one's called Javita. I could be pronouncing it wrong, but I'm going to come on here real quick and talk about this one. I'll put all the companies below so you can see them. But it's a startup company. It's a biohacking startup company that's working on next generation of beverage. So, essentially it's a sparkling water, hard cider, and alkaline water beverages, and they're trying to like basically give a different twist on it, all three at once. So I thought it was like a hybrid drink. I thought that was really cool. Their investment date is about to end up. They only need about 5,500 more people to fund their goal. They needed 100,000, I believe, and they're at 94,000 some change with 53 investors. So that's a lot of people that funded this, thinking that this could be some really genius idea. And their their valuation cap is at 3.6 million. So I was like, okay, it's $100 that you can put in to have future equity. So who knows? And they've been out for a little bit. from when I looked on here, so they putting their startup together, and on here I thought that this could possibly, because it's 100% plant-based, and also they're working on the multifunctional hard cider beverage, and it's projected to grow. What they're thinking, it's projected to grow 128% by next year, or per year. So they're looking at that, and they got some good advisors on here. Some people that work for Coca-Cola, Pepsi. So I thought they got a good team, a good structure. They got a good idea. So I'm gonna invest $100 into this company. That's what I did on this one. I'm still on Wii Funder. It's this other company called Splitsie. I'm gonna put this in there. It's SPILIT. Yeah, let me say that one more time. SPLITSY, right? Splitsies. So I thought this was a cool idea. They need about 100K. Well, 50,000 is their goal, but they need about 100K, and they're developing an app. And typically apps are expensive. They could be like $30,000, $20,000, but I think they need at least about 50,000 to do what they're trying to do. And essentially, what I was saying before, you and your friends or family members can move into an apartment and split the rent. And what they're trying to do is to make the app where it's easier for y'all to be able to split any bill. So I thought that was a genius idea, because I was just talking about that, and I saw that pop up when I was running through Wii Funder, and I was like, oh, I gotta invest in this. This could be a really good idea. Now, when you're doing startups, everything is a risk. The company might flip, and that essentially you're going to invest in them, and they might not deliver on what they think they're going to do, or maybe they don't get enough money to run it, fund their investment and what they're trying to do. So it might not plan out. But I'm willing to risk $100 or $200, or depending on what you're willing to risk, that in 5 years it could be worth more. If it's worth $1,000, I couldn't leave $100 in my bank account, and in 10 years, or no, 5 years, it would not be worth $1,000. I can tell you that. I can guarantee you. No bank account is doing that. Maybe a high yield account, even still, that's probably not doing that. IRA account, whole life insurance, I don't think it's doing that. Maybe whole life insurance, and maybe a 12% on a high yield IRA account, possibly, but no bank account is doing that. So I'm willing to risk $100 that it could turn into something else. If you're willing to spend $100 on a lottery, this could be $100 you're willing to spend on a startup company. So I put $100 in them. Their valuation is $2 million, and it's basically having future equity. They've been raising money since 2020, and I think this is their fourth one, because they got a bunch of different grants and stuff to get this, and they won 2021 first place for the venture capitals challenge. So they got that on here, and they're on it. They got an Amazon web service startup, which is 25,000. So they got a bunch of different things, and there's 19 million people in the U.S. that shares bills. So I thought that was a good idea, that they have a market, they have a niche technology that could be disruptive. That could be something that could create a better convenience to what is going on in the sharing bill industry. Now I got 3 more. This one's called Smart Tire. I thought this was ingenious because there was a company that was working on a airless tire that was I'm pretty sure it might have been space technology, or it could have been military grade technology, and I don't know if it's on the market yet. It could be, but I think they were working with Michelin or maybe a different company. But I saw it a couple years back, and I was like, that's gonna be genius, because I was like, the fact that they're trying to make an airless tire to prevent tire waste, and to also stop from you getting a flat tire, because that's what run flats were trying to do with BMW and all the other companies that use it. But I was like, for them to try to build this where it's a ventless tire, there's no air at all. You don't need to fill it up. No one going to the gas station trying to find the air, put it in your tire, or going to the dealership to try to get them to put air in your tire, fix it. So I thought that was a good idea for them to cut down on the waste that we're distributing to rubber, and that is going to the plant, and also help people save some money and not have to go buy a new tire. So it's called Smart Tire, and it is on NASA. So there is space technology that they're working on, a metal structure that's strong enough to withhold the car, the rim, and everything, and you can't puncture it. It can't be puncture damage. It basically runs over something and forms to it, and it keeps rolling. And so that's similar to the ventless tire that the Michelin, I think, was working on. But same thing, it's $100 you can invest in. They already their first goal was hit. and they raised right now, I believe, currently $2.5 million from almost 2,000 people, a little bit over 1,900 people. So I thought this was a good investment, and they got 12 years of research. $10 million invested from NASA. So I was like, this could be a game changer right here. So I put $100 in this one. I'm gonna talk about another company real quick. I think this one is pronounced rizzon. Rizzon. Y'all can correct me. It's Rizome. Rizzon or Rizzon. It might be Rizzon, but y'all can correct me on that one. But basically, it's a climate positive bamboo building company that works on that's working on materials with bamboo because it grows naturally. It's very high in demand, like in the forests. It's like you can't even control it. Like, so, and I think in Philadelphia, for example, you can't even plant bamboo because you can get fined because like you chop it down in one location, it grows underneath the ground and travels 10 feet over and grows up there. So it's very like dangerous to plant in an area where you don't want it at because it's hard to manage. So they thought that this is fast growing wood that's also natural to use, that won't harm the environment of the jungle or anywhere else they're getting the wood from, the bamboo from, and they can use it to build a skyscraper. That's their goal one day. So I thought this was a good idea. It was $100. They got 480 investors that raised about a little bit over $800,000. And this is on Wii Funder. You can go check out this company. And they basically want to be able to build structures with bamboo. I thought that was pretty cool. And then I got one more company. I think this one's called InMed. It's INNAMED. It's INNAMED. And they have this little sub on there, like the symbol is just Y. It's a YZ. Oh, sorry, no, YC. Yellow Charlie, and that's W17. So that's for this one. It ends in 3 days. And the reason I'm investing in this is because it's a technology that you can use from home to test your blood. It's a blood technology that's going to help because, noticeable with everything going on with the pandemic, it allows people to stay home instead of going to the hospital to be able to keep updated with data that can transfer to the doctor's office and allow them to test their blood, get the right results that they need, right prescriptions, everything. I thought that was a good idea, and I think that could be a convenience and also help the idea of having a doctor at your home coming to visit, because they used to do that, and I think that just didn't make sense anymore, and you had to go to the hospital to go see them. So now this allows you to be in contact with your personal doctor, and they'll be able to look at your test results immediately as soon as you do it, and every day or once a week, depending on what you're testing for blood, will allow you to have access to that data and help you plan out some kind of like prescription or maybe some kind of health setup. I'm not a medical person, so for me, I'm just stating for that they're trying to set up something that can help you stay in tune with what's going on. Maybe you need to change your diet, or maybe there could be some issues that could pop up health related, and they can check your blood immediately to save your life or to structure out a plan that can help you improve your life. So I thought that was a good idea. They raised about almost $1.2 million with 1,300 investors, and you can invest $100 in this, and it ends in 3 days. It's on Wii Funder, so you want to check that. So I believe that's I think that's 7 companies that I invested in, maybe 8. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 companies. I invested about $100 in each. One of them I had to invest $150. So that basically brings me to the end of this episode. I appreciate you watching Modern Nobility. I hopefully that gave you some insight, gave you some access to someone that's out there literally doing it, trying to invest, trying to live that entrepreneur lifestyle. That's side hustle that's going to eventually turn into, who knows what it could turn into. But if you're looking for that person, that role model, that mentor, I'm right here. I'm giving you access to it. I'm giving you access to the stuff that I wish I had when I was 16 years old or younger than that I could have a mentor and see into their life, what they're doing, how their mind's working, what mindset they have, what their fundamentals are, how they're saving money, and how they're investing, how they plan to create generational wealth. If that's what you want to do, hey, follow me. Once again, Mafi_Gray, that's MAFI _Grey. That's my Instagram. You can find my Wandering Sag if you want to watch all my travel stuff. I'm coming with more stuff with that. I'm just working on the website right now. And Modern Mobility, I don't have a website for it yet, but I am working on one. For Modern Mobility, you can find me on YouTube and you can find me on the podcast, wherever you listen to us. But once again, appreciate the episode, I guess 23 at this point. Catch y'all later.